So, you're building your first design system. I know, it can feel like this massive, overwhelming challenge, but it really doesn't have to be. Think of me as your guide for this explainer. We're going to walk through the whole thing, step by step. Ready? Let's get into it. Here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the absolute basics. What even is a design system? Then we'll dive into creating your blueprint. That's the planning stage. After that, the fun part, building your core components. From there, we'll talk about setting up rules and tools to keep everything running smoothly. And finally, we'll cover how to grow a community around your system, because that's what makes it truly successful. All right, first things first, before we can even dream of building anything, we have to make sure we're all on the same page. So let's get a really clear understanding of what a design system actually is, and just as importantly, what it isn't. You hear this term thrown around all the time, right? But what does it really truly mean? Is it just a folder full of button designs, a UI kit you download, or is it something, well, something much bigger? Okay, here's the best way to think about it. Imagine a giant box of high-quality Legos. You've got all these individual bricks, those are your components. And you've got a super clear instruction manual, those are your standards, that shows you exactly how they fit together. With this kit, your whole team can build amazing, consistent products way faster because you're not trying to invent a new kind of brick every single time. Now, this is a really important distinction, and it's where a lot of people get tripped up. They think a design system is just the component library, the collection of buttons and forms, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. The system is the whole shebang. It's the library, sure, but it's also the design language, the guiding principles, the code snippets, and even the rules for how other people can contribute. It's not just the Legos, it's the Legos and the instruction manual. Okay, so we've got our definition locked in. Now it's time to lay the groundwork. You wouldn't start building a house without a solid blueprint, right? Same thing here. This is the crucial planning phase where we figure out what we're working with. So here's your first hands-on task, a visual audit. This just means you're going to go through all of your existing products, your websites, your apps, and just take inventory of what's there. Quick pro tip here. Give yourself a deadline for this, maybe a week or two. It's so easy to get stuck analyzing forever. The goal here is progress, not perfection. So how do you actually do this audit? Well, it breaks down into these 4 key steps. First, just try to understand how things get designed right now. Then you start identifying all the little pieces, the design elements. After that, you look for the bigger building blocks, the components. And the golden rule through all of this, document everything. I'm talking screenshots, notes, everything. And what are you looking for exactly? You're looking for all this stuff, every single button, every different shade of gray, every font size. I guarantee you're going to find like 6 different styles of buttons that all basically do the same thing. And that's okay. Finding and cataloging all that inconsistency is actually your secret weapon for showing people why you need a design system in the first place. And now we get to the really fun part. We've done our homework, we've got our blueprint. It's finally time to start building the actual tangible pieces of our system. We're going to start at the absolute smallest level with something called design tokens. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. Think of these as the DNA of your design. A token isn't the color blue itself, it's a name, like color brand primary, that points to a specific color code. This becomes the single source of truth for both your designers and your developers. This table shows it perfectly. Instead of a designer telling a developer, just use that blue, they now say, use color brand primary. The magic is, if you ever need to update that brand color, you just change it in one place, the token, and boom, it updates everywhere automatically. This is so powerful for bridging that gap between design and code. This all leads to a really important shift in your mindset. You stop thinking about designing one-off pages. Instead, you start thinking about designing a system of reusable components. This is the heart of what's called atomic design, and it completely changes your workflow. You're not mocking things up from scratch anymore. You're building them out of your library of tested, reliable parts. Okay, so you've created your beautiful Lego bricks. But now you need that instruction manual we talked about, because honestly, a system without rules can cause just as much chaos as having no system at all.
This next part is all about governance.
A huge part of that is versioning. Using a system called semantic versioning is a total game changer. It's a simple way to communicate what your changes mean. A small bug fix? That's a patch release. Added a cool new feature that doesn't break anything? That's a minor release. A huge change that could break old stuff? That's a major release. This little system builds so much trust and predictability for everyone who uses your work. And if you want other people to help you build this system, you need to set some clear rules of the road. Things like how the code should be styled, what info to include when you submit a change, and, this is a big one, you have to require that every new component comes with tests to make sure it works right and that it's accessible for everyone. And I really can't stress this enough. Accessibility has to be baked into your system from day one. It is not an optional feature or a nice to have, it's a core requirement. That means making sure your colors have enough contrast, that everything works with a keyboard, and that screen readers can make sense of it all. It's non-negotiable. Look, you can build the most perfect, elegant, technically brilliant design system in the world, but if nobody actually uses it, it's a failure. The last and maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle is the people. It's all about adoption and community. So how do you know if it's actually working? Well, you measure it. You can track things like how many different projects are actually using your components, or see how many different people are contributing back. You can even monitor how quickly you solve problems for people. These numbers give you a real, concrete picture of your system's health. And you have to actively foster that community. Set up a dedicated channel on Slack or Teams just for questions about the system. Hold office hours where anyone can drop in and get help. Send out a fun newsletter showing off new stuff. You want to make people feel like they're a part of this thing, not just that it's being forced on them. But at the end of the day, your two most powerful tools for adoption are amazing documentation and a super smooth onboarding process. If a brand new developer can join the team and get started with your system in minutes just by following a clear guide, you've won. They're going to love it, use it, and tell everyone else to use it too. So there you have it. We've covered the entire journey, from that first flicker of an idea all the way to a thriving community. A design system is never really done, but you've got the map now. The only thing left is to take that very first step. So, what's it going to be for you? Are you going to start that visual audit? Maybe propose some design tokens? Whatever it is, start small and start today. You've got this.